When you have a comp that was created in Photoshop or Illustrator, you need to take the time to look at the elements and determine what things can be replicated with HTML and cascading style sheets and what elements need to come in as images. In our layout, there are some very clear images. We have our banner, we have the two photographs of these singers. The rest could be up for debate, but I'm just going to talk you through how I'm going to bring this in. First of all, let's talk briefly about this logo. There are many solutions from @FontFace, Kufon, Google Fonts that will allow you to bring more fonts into your HTML documents. However, with that said, this is a logo and I don't really want to mess with if I don't get exactly the right font or exactly the right kerning. You know, those things are difficult to do with HTML. So I will bring this in as a graphic just to be safe. The graphic on the bottom, we'll use the same sort of rationale for that. And this asterisk, I'm not really sure if I'm going to find a font that will give that same sort of weight and structure, so that will come in as a graphic as well. Everything else, from the black vertical bar to the footer green at the bottom, even these sort of caret accents, all of that can be duplicated and created using HTML and cascading style sheets. So at this point, I'm going to go over to my toolbar. Again, I'm in Photoshop, and the version I'm using is, I think I'm in 5 or 5.5. These tools have been around for a really long time, so even if you're not using the most current version, you'll be fine. In the suite of tools that includes the cropping tool, that's where you'll find the slice tool. And I can come in, grab that, and draw a box around the images that I want to keep. Those are the main three. I will now move up into the logo area and grab that. Zoom up a bit so I have a better view of the asterisk, and then move down to the bottom logo. A couple of options here. I could slice around this entire logo, the orange included. However, the line, because this has been created in Photoshop, isn't very crisp. So I'm going to wait and create the orange line in the space kind of buffer zone once I get into the HTML. So for now, I will simply slice in the headphones and the ALIS. In the same suite of tools as the slice tool, you'll see the slice select tool. I'm going to select that. What that will allow me to do now is go around my document, double click on all of the slices that I've created. What that does is it opens up this slice options menu. If I were to save these slices right now, the names would be Sugar Record 05, Sugar Record 02, whatever the name of the slice is. It's not very helpful when you're building your HTML file, not very descriptive. This will allow you to give a name that is more descriptive. These names can often be picked up by these search engines, so perhaps you even want to be more specific than that. Sugar Record Studios. It's kind of a long name, but something to think about. Okay, I'll call this Banner Male Singer Female Singer. What else? ALIS logo. And I believe I'm going to have to zoom up again so I can make sure that I'm double clicking and getting this asterisk, which I will call bullet. while we're in here, I've already created and renamed this slice, but I would not recommend that you do this. But just in case you're wondering what everything else was on here, you could create a full functioning website from Photoshop where maybe this is a link and you are building in the URL, the file that you're sending it to, the target, some messages, alt, language, all of those things could be done in Photoshop. We're not doing any of those because it's more appropriate to build a page using HTML rather than having it be all graphic. So we've saved all of our slices. We've sliced them. Let me back up a minute. We have sliced the images. We've renamed them, and now we're ready to save them for the web. File, save for web and devices. Now, because these are all different slices, they are individual graphics, and that gives us a great opportunity to provide each graphic with its own unique file saving structure. So, for example, if I click on the logo, because it's all solid flat color, this is going to be better saved as a GIF than a JPEG. And I also don't need very many colors. So I will choose GIF. I think I could live with about 8 colors. This graphic, on the other hand, could go either way. It could be a GIF, it could be a JPEG. A full color, you can see there's a lot of colors in our color table that look like duplicates at the GIF 256 color level. I'm visually backing off of these colors to see if, to my eye, I'm noticing any difference. And at 16 colors, I think it looks great. At 32 colors, at 16, I'm still not seeing a loss of quality. You want to try to make your graphics as small as possible. You can check the bottom left-hand corner to confirm that the size is changing. Obviously, you'll get to a point where you do not have enough colors, and don't compromise your design. Make sure that you're giving enough color depth to support what you want to do. I'm going to stay at that 16. These two images are very similar in quality. They're both photographs, therefore they should both be saved as a JPEG, and I might as well do those both at the same time. So to remind you that you can hold down the Shift key, grab both images, and make your decision. I probably don't need high quality because these photos are small. I can experiment with low. Looks kind of degraded here in the low. I'm seeing a lot of artifacts in this more solid area, so I'm going to bump that up to either medium or high. And the last two graphics, the Alice logo, GIF, and I definitely do not need more than 4 or 8 colors for that. And I was having a difficult time. Once again, I'll have to zoom up just to get this little guy here, who will also be a GIF. Not many colors needed to support the quality of that. Again, the idea is that you're able to choose graphics individually and give them the correct file saving options that will work best for that particular image. I'm ready to save. And a couple of things are happening here I want to remind you of. Our file is named Sugar Record GIF. However, none of these graphics were named Sugar Record GIF, and in fact my file isn't named that at all. So just try to ignore this. I know that's easier said than done. A lot of extra slices were made. If you look in and around in the background, we have an 09 and 08. I don't need any of that. I do not need all slices, therefore. So I want images only. We'll just leave the settings at default, and instead of all slices, I will choose selected slices. Actually, I'm going to choose all user slices. What that means is all of the slices that I've created, that I've literally gone in with my slicing tool and created are my slices. They're user slices. What I want to show you quickly before we end this particular movie, out on my desktop in the Sugar Record folder, what happens is that an images folder is created. And here are the images that I've created. The Alice logo, banner, bullet, and so on.